Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrathmaulana Qamaruzzamansaheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Friday night after the Taraweeh Salat at Darul Ma'arif al Islamiyya in Kareli, Wasiabad, Allahabad, UP, India. Friday, the 24th of March 2024, 13th of Ramadan 1445. Hazratwala is saying, you people know that the silsila is continuing. It has been established and it is continuing. And there also it would continue. We are leaving to go. And when we go to Gujarat, there also people come from all the surrounding areas. And they come and they sit. They come there in droves and in huge scores and numbers. Now Allah Ta'ala in awqat mubarakah ko sahi taur par guzarne ki tawfiq de. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of spending correctly these blessed moments. Okay, so Hazrathmaulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, when the moon would come and it would be sighted for the month of Ramadan, he would attach so much of importance to this. He would call us and he would say that it should not be that you people be deprived. And he would even send the message to the womenfolk and the daughters at home, the very same message, that listen, do what you have to do. And let it not be such that you are deprived of the blessings of Ramadan. Now, Hazrathmaulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to go out for a walk, we would say a stroll, टहलने के लिए जाते थे. And in the month of Ramadan, he would go once before his majlis and discourse, and once after that, he would go to which we know today as the civil lines in Allahabad. At that time, it was absolutely quiet and silent, that area. And he would say, I'm not going there just to go and do this or that or the other. No, I'm going there so that I can learn my Quran and recite my Quran. He attached much importance to all of this. And when we would go to him and we would say that we are reciting Quran, however, we are not able to complete our adhkar and our zikr, then he would go on to say that you would then be deprived of the barakat of dhikrullah. Therefore, together with your tilawat, continue with your dhikrullah. You have your bara tasbih, or even half of that what people are presently doing now. He had a very, very special passion for tilawat of the Quran Majid. Now, according to Maulana Irshad Sahab from Darul Uloom Deoband, they were of the opinion that Hazrat would make one khatam of the Quran every day in Ramadan. He was very particular about all this. He would go on to say, "So jao, lekin lagh baate na karo." Sleep if you have to sleep, but do not engage in useless and futile talks. Himself, he was very, very particular. And you would read more of these waqiyat. You can have a look at the kitab of Hazrat Shaykhul Hadith, Akabir ke Ramadan, that how our Akabirin spent their Ramadan. Now, to carry out tilawat with a very, very sincere heart, this is something very, very virtuous and meritorious. It's something very great. Sidq dil se tilawat karna. बहुत बड़ी बात है. And recitation of the Quran Majid has a very, very special connection with the holy month of Ramadan. Hazrat Taraweeh has said that the Quran Majid was revealed in the holy month of Ramadan, due to which then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made fasting in the holy month of Ramadan fard, so that it could be a thanksgiving and showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us with such a great and divine book, the Kalam, the Quran Majid. Allah ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of making qadr, appreciating the holy month of Ramadan. Hazrathmaulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say to us that achieve something, kuch hasil karo. And what was he referring to? He would say it over and over again. It was this muhabbat and nisbat. He wanted us to make mehnat for that, and he would say it over and over again. Now, what was actually the meaning of that? What did he mean, and what was desired, and how would that have to be carried out? It was to make dua as well. Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbaka wa hubba man yuhibbuka wa hubba amali yuqarribu ila hubbik. That, oh Allah, I ask you for your love, and the love of the one who loves you, and the love of that amal that will grant me proximity to you. Now, the author of Fathul Bari says, Muhabbatullahi ala qismain. The love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can be distributed into two categories, fardun wa nudubun. One is that of a compulsory nature, and the other one of a optional nature. And then Hazrathmaulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to go on to say that, listen, it's not from this kitab or that kitab. I'm quoting from a hadith kitab. So the love of Allah, that which is faraz, so that would allow and let a person carry out the fara'id, and the love which is mandub would allow a person to carry out all the other things other than the fara'id. وَكَذَلِكَ مُحَبَّةُ الرَّسُولِ. And similarly is the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, meaning fardun wa nudubun. It is fard as well, a category of it, and the other part of it would be mandub and optional. Now, Hazrat Wala is saying that بغیر محبت के इक्तिदा नहीं हो सकती है. Without love, how will a person follow? How would you fulfill and carry out those commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Without love, it will not be achieved. You would not be able to make iqtida and follow. Therefore, our mashayikh keep on speaking about the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because once love and muhabbat is achieved, then it is easy to obey. It is easy to obey. So much so that when love is achieved, that even the bitter things then become sweet. As muhabbat talkh, talkha shirin showad. That with love and muhabbat, even the butter becomes sweet. According to how great your muhabbat for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, that's how your obedience to Him would be. Look at the love that Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala possessed. Hazrat Maulana Abdul Hayy Farangi Mahalli has mentioned this waqi'ah in his kitab. One day Imam Sahab went to the masjid to perform his Isha Salat. In the Isha Salat, the Imam recited Surah Zilzal, which had a very deep and profound effect on Imam Abu Hanifa. So much so, Hazrathmaulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say it this way, that the Imam Sahab went to go and rest in his private chamber after the Salat after he was done. However, our Imam Abu Hanifa remained there. he held his beard and wept profusely in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying, O that Zat and Supreme Being that will reward for the atom amount of good, and he will punish for the atom amount of evil. O that Zat and Being, save this servant Abd Noman from Niran, from the fire. Save the servant of yours from the fire. Hazrathmaulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, addressing the ulama, he would say that for how long more will you just confine and restrict yourself to qal, to just the sayings of Imam Abu Hanifa, the Masail. He said this and he said that. When will we come to his hal? Don't you see his hal and his spiritual state? What was it? And then our Hazrat Wala is saying, I'm good. That was what Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say. And then I'm going further to say that not only that, when are we going to come into maqam? When are we going to go to the higher stages? So Ramadan Sharif, tarakki ka mahina hai. This month of Ramadan is a month in which we progress. We gain closeness and proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember, in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no deficiency whatsoever. There is no shortage. There is no kami whatsoever. Whatever the Buzrugan-e-Din achieved, received, were blessed with, we can also receive the same. Yes, bring sincerity and Allah will bless you. In the words of Hazrat Thanvi, he used to say, in the previous ages and eras, people would have to carry out much mujahadat and sacrifices. Then they would be blessed with a treasure from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this spiritual treasure which people receive in their bosoms and in their hearts. But he says, now, just on carrying out a bit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is prepared to give you those very same treasures which the people of the past were blessed with. Now you people know that we are going to Gujarat, and there also I'm going to speak about these topics as well. Now Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of making qadr, valuing and appreciating the holy month of Ramadan. Allah Ta'ala give me also the tawfiq and the hidayat of making amal. Now Hazrat Wala says, now let me read to you from this kitab as well. Now here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَن لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ سُبْحَانَكَ إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. So Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam called out in the darknesses that there is none worthy of worship besides you, O Allah. Subhanaka, glory be to you, you are so pure. Inni kuntu min adh-dhalimin, I am from amongst those who do things out of place. मैं बेमौका काम करने वाला मैं हूँ. I do things out of place. Now look at the adab that is taken into consideration when making the tarjuma of the ayat, because it is regarding a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam, lam yatlub sarihan, he did not ask for anything clearly and straightforward. Walakin lamma athna ala rabbihi, however when he praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa'tarafa bayna yadayh, and he acknowledged in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala his mistakes and weaknesses. فَقَدْ أَظْهَرَ الْفَاقَ إِلَيْهِ, he showed genuinely his need in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what he done. He did not ask clearly what he wanted. He praised Allah, he acknowledged and confessed in front of Allah, and he made apparent his need to Allah. فَجَعَلَ الْحَقُّ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى ذَلِكَ طَلَبًا, and Allah Ta'ala accepted that as his request. Allahu Akbar. Now that was not only for Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam, rather if we also read it and if we also say this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us just how He blessed our mashayikh and the Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam. Thereafter, it is going on to another topic. Hazratwala continues saying that Musa alayhi salatu wassalam carried out kindness to the two daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam, and he... Okay, let's just see. So Musa alayhi salatu wassalam waffa min nafsihi walam yastawfilaha. Musa alayhi salatu wassalam fulfilled his part and his right, but he did not ask anything in exchange. فَكَانَ لَهُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ الْجَزَاءُ الْأَكْمَلُ. Therefore, from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he received the most perfect reward. وَعَجَّلَ لَهُ الْحَقِّ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى فِي الدُّنْيَا. Allah Ta'ala blessed him. Rather, Allah Ta'ala made it speedy, and not only in the akhirat, but rewarded him here in this dunya already over and above what he has kept in store for him in the akhirat. In what sense? That he wedded him to one of the wives of one of the daughters of Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. He made him the son-in-law of his Nabi Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam. And Allah Ta'ala made him acquainted with all of this until such a time came when the time of his risalat came. Therefore, the author then goes on to say, after putting all of that forward to us, فَلَا تَجْعَلْ مُعَامَلَتَكَ إِلَّا مَعَ اللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ أَيُّهَا الْعَبْدِ. Therefore, always keep your dealings, your muamala, your muamala with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أَيُّهَا الْعَبْدِ, O servant. And if you do this, تَكُنْ مِنَ murbihin, you will be from those who profit a lot. وَيُكْرِمْكَ بِمَا أَكْرَمَ بِهِ عِبَادَهُ الْمُتَّقِينَ. And Allah will honor you like how He honored His pious servants. Thereafter, Hazratwala goes on to another discussion here when Allah Ta'ala intends ease for a person. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أن يخفف عنكم يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. Hazratwala then quotes from the kitab there the waqia and the incident of Rabi ibn Ziyad al-Harithi. He came to Ali radiallahu ta'ala an and he complained about his brother. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala an asked him what seems to be the matter and the problem. He says that listen, he wraps himself up in a blanket and he tries to portray this type of poverty and simpleness in that manner. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala said that summon him to me. Nevertheless, when he came in this very manner, wrapped up in a blanket, while his hair was disheveled and his hair and his beard. Ali radiallahu ta'ala frowned upon him, and he said, alas, woe be to you. Do you not feel ashamed of going in front of your wife like this? Do you not have mercy on your children? Do you not see that Allah Ta'ala has made permissible for you the tayyibat and has disliked for you has made permissible for you the tayyibat, while you dislike to take it? Nevertheless, Asim, after all of this, listening to what Ali radiallahu ta'ala said, he said, but then why are you doing the same thing? You are wearing coarse and clothes, and your food is also of that type. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala said, no, that's a different matter altogether. Allah Ta'ala has made it incumbent upon the leaders of truth that they adopt such a manner that the poor people amongst them would then also be able to relate, because they would see themselves equal to the leaders. So Allah Ta'ala says much. كلوا من رزق ربكم واشكروا له يا أيها الذين آمنوا كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم واشكروا لله يا أيها الرسل كلوا من الطيبات واعملوا صالحا. I'm reading this kitab. It is an absolutely amazing kitab. For years, it just doesn't seem to be coming to an end. And in my understanding, Hazrat Taraweeh kept this in front of him. And from there, he adopted and took out all his usuls under the light of this particular kitab. It seems tonight would be the last night that I will be here. I am very exhausted as well, and I'm not too well also. Many people have left. Allah Ta'ala bless us with the barakat, the fuyuz of Ramadan. Allah Ta'ala bless us with the blessings of Al-Quran. Allah Ta'ala bless us with His special mercies and bless us with His great gifts, boons, bounties and treasures. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.